The invisible habit that's destroying your financial life. Daily sabotage. You wake up every morning with good intentions. You tell yourself today will be different. You'll be more careful with money, more disciplined, more aware. But by the end of the day, something has happened. The money is gone. Not in one dramatic purchase, not in some obvious mistake, but in 1,000 tiny decisions that seemed harmless at the time. And you can't quite figure out where it went wrong. Because the habit that's destroying your financial life isn't dramatic. It's invisible. It operates below your conscious awareness, making decisions for you before you even realize a choice is being made. And until you see it, until you name it, until you understand how it works, you'll keep getting the same results no matter how hard you try to change. Here's what makes this so dangerous. The habit doesn't feel like a problem. It feels normal. It feels like just living your life. Everyone around you is doing the same thing, so it must be fine. The coffee on the way to work, the lunch you didn't pack, the convenience purchase at the store, the subscription you forgot about, the upgrade that seemed reasonable, the sale you couldn't pass up. None of these things, individually, seem significant, but together, they form a pattern of unconscious spending, a pattern of choosing immediate convenience over long-term stability, a pattern that quietly drains your resources day after day, month after month, year after year, until you wake up one day and realize you've been working your entire adult life and have nothing to show for it. Let's be clear about what we're talking about. This isn't about occasional splurges or planned purchases. This is about the baseline behavior that governs your relationship with money when you're not actively thinking about it. It's the automatic decisions, the habitual responses, the default settings of your financial life. And for most people, those default settings are programmed for consumption, not accumulation. They're programmed to spend whatever is available, to prioritize present comfort over future security, to avoid the discomfort of saying no. And those settings were installed by a culture that profits from your spending, by marketing designed to bypass your rational thinking, by social norms that equate consumption with success. Think about your last week. How many purchases did you make without really thinking about them? How many times did you spend money because it was easy, because everyone else was doing it, because you felt like you deserved it, because the amount seemed small enough not to matter? Now add those up, not just the dollar amount, but the cumulative effect of all those tiny moments where you chose immediate gratification over intentional decision-making. That's the invisible habit, and it's costing you more than you realize. Here's why it's so hard to see. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. Making conscious decisions requires effort, so your brain automates as much as possible. It creates shortcuts, patterns, routines, and once a behavior becomes habitual, it happens without conscious thought. You don't decide to buy coffee every morning. You just do it. You don't evaluate whether you need that item. You just add it to the cart. You don't question the subscription. It's just there. And because these behaviors are automatic, they're invisible. They don't register as financial decisions. They register as just part of your day. But every automatic spending decision is a leak in your financial foundation, and enough small leaks will sink the ship. Let's talk about what triggers these habits. Most unconscious spending is triggered by emotion or environment. You're stressed, so you buy something to feel better. You're bored, so you scroll and shop. You're tired, so you order food instead of cooking. You're with friends, so you spend to fit in. You're at the store, so you grab a few extra things. The trigger happens, the habit executes, and the money is gone before your conscious mind even gets involved. And the worst part? The relief or pleasure you get from that spending is temporary. It doesn't solve the underlying issue. It just creates a new problem. Less money, more financial stress, and the same emotional trigger that will activate the habit again tomorrow. Here's the cycle. You feel a negative emotion. You spend money to relieve it. You feel temporary relief. Then, you feel guilt or anxiety about spending, which creates another negative emotion, which triggers more spending. It's a loop. And every time the loop repeats, the habit gets stronger. The neural pathway gets deeper. The behavior becomes more automatic, until spending isn't something you do occasionally to cope. It's your primary coping mechanism. It's how you deal with stress, boredom, sadness, frustration, exhaustion. And at that point, your financial problems are no longer about income or expenses. They're about behavior. They're about using money as an emotional regulator instead of as a tool for building the life you want. Now let's look at the environmental triggers. Your environment is engineered to make you spend. Every store layout, every advertisement, every notification, every email is designed to reduce friction between you and a purchase. One-click buying, auto-renewal, targeted ads based on your browsing history, free shipping thresholds that encourage you to add more to your cart, limited time offers that create artificial urgency, social media posts that make you feel like you're missing out. All of this is intentional. It's a sophisticated system designed to exploit your psychological vulnerabilities and extract money from you as efficiently as possible. And if you're not actively defending against it, you're a victim of it. Here's what most people don't understand. Every dollar you spend unconsciously is a dollar that can't build your future. It's not just the immediate loss. It's the opportunity cost. That $5 could have been invested and grown over time. Those $50 could have gone toward debt that's charging you interest. Those $500 could have been the start of an emergency fund that protects you from crisis. Every unconscious spending decision isn't just taking from your present, it's stealing from your future. And the longer this pattern continues, the more your future self pays for your present self's lack of awareness. Let's get specific about the most common invisible habits. First, convenience spending. Paying extra because planning ahead feels like too much work. Buying lunch instead of packing it. Taking a rideshare instead of public transit. Ordering delivery instead of cooking. Shopping at the expensive store because it's close. Each instance seems justified. You're busy, you're tired, you deserve convenience. But convenience is expensive. And when convenience becomes your default, you're paying a premium for your lack of organization. Over a year, convenience spending can cost thousands of dollars. Money that could have changed your financial situation if you'd directed it differently. Second, emotional spending. Buying things to change how you feel. Retail therapy after a bad day. Impulse purchases when you're bored. Treating yourself because you feel like you've earned it. The problem isn't that you want to feel better. The problem is that spending money doesn't actually fix anything. It's a band-aid on an emotional wound. And it's an expensive band-aid that creates its own problems. If you're using spending to regulate emotions, you need to find cheaper, more effective coping mechanisms. Exercise, connection, creativity, rest. These things actually address the underlying issue instead of just creating temporary distraction. Third, social spending. Money you spend because of other people. Going out when you'd rather stay in because you don't want to. Miss out. Buying things to keep up with your peer group. Gifting beyond your means because you feel obligated. Upgrading your lifestyle to match your friends. This is incredibly common and incredibly expensive because social spending isn't about your needs or even your wants. It's about maintaining an image, avoiding judgment, and fitting in. And the cost of fitting in can be financial destruction, especially if the people you're trying to keep up with are either earning more than you, spending beyond their means, or prioritizing different things. Fourth, autopilot spending. Subscriptions, memberships, recurring charges that you signed up for and forgot about, streaming services you don't use, gym memberships you don't go to, software you don't need, insurance you're overpaying for. These charges happen automatically, so they're easy to ignore, but they add up. A few dollars here, $10 there, $20 somewhere else. Over a month, it could be $100 or more. Over a year, it's well over $1,000. Money that's leaving your account without providing any value. And you don't even notice because it's automatic. Fifth, upgrade creep. The slow, steady increase in your standard of living that happens without conscious decision. You get used to a certain level of comfort and then you upgrade. Better phone, better car, better apartment, better clothes, better everything. Each upgrade feels justified. You can afford it now. You've worked hard. You deserve it. But every upgrade comes with a cost. Not just the purchase price, but the ongoing obligation. Higher rent, higher insurance, higher maintenance, higher replacement cost. And once you upgrade, it's psychologically difficult to downgrade. You've adapted to the new standard, and anything less feels like failure. So you're locked in, and your financial flexibility decreases with every upgrade. Here's the core issue. Unconscious spending keeps you trapped in the present. It prevents you from building toward anything. Because you're spending everything you have on immediate needs and wants, there's nothing left for future goals. No emergency fund, no debt payoff, no savings, no investments, no financial cushion. You're living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, constantly reacting to whatever comes up instead of proactively building the life you want. And that's exhausting. It's stressful, it's limiting, and it doesn't have to be that way. So how do you break the invisible habit? First, you have to make it visible. You have to bring unconscious behavior into conscious awareness. And the only way to do that is to track everything. Every purchase, every transaction, every dollar that leaves your account. Not forever, but long enough to see the pattern. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you realize how much you're spending on things that don't matter, you can start making different choices. The tracking itself doesn't change anything, but the awareness it creates is the foundation for change. Second, you need to introduce friction into your spending. Make it harder to spend unconsciously. Delete saved payment information. Unsubscribe from promotional emails. Turn off notifications. Remove shopping apps from your phone. Use cash for discretionary spending. Create a waiting period for non-essential purchases. Anything that adds a step between impulse and purchase gives your conscious mind time to catch up and evaluate whether this is actually what you want to do with your money. Third, you need to replace the habit with something else. If you're spending to cope with stress, you need another stress management tool. If you're spending because you're bored, you need another form of engagement. If you're spending for social connection, you need relationships that don't revolve around consumption. You can't just stop a habit. You have to replace it with something that meets the same underlying need in a healthier, cheaper way. Otherwise, the trigger will keep happening, and without an alternative, you'll default back to the old behavior. Fourth, you need to align your spending with your values and goals. Most people spend on autopilot because they've never actually decided what they want their money to do. They've never identified what matters most. They've never clarified what they're working toward. So every spending decision is made in isolation, based on how they feel in that moment. But if you know your priorities, if you've defined your goals, if you understand what you're trying to build, then every spending decision becomes a choice between that goal and this purchase. And when the choice is framed that way, it's a lot easier to say no to the things that don't serve you. Fifth, you need to automate your financial priorities. If you're relying on willpower and conscious decision-making to save money, you'll fail, because willpower is finite and decision fatigue is real. The solution is to automate. Set up automatic transfers to savings, automatic payments to debt, automatic contributions to investments. Make your financial priorities happen first, automatically, before you have a chance to spend that money on something else. That way, you're not fighting your habits. You're working around them. The money goes where it needs to go, and you live on what's left. And that's infinitely more effective than trying to save what's left over after spending. Here's the shift in mindset you need. Money isn't something to spend. It's something to allocate. Every dollar you earn is a resource that can be directed towards something, and you get to decide what that something is. But that decision has to be intentional. It has to be conscious. It has to align with what you actually want for your life. And most people never make that decision. They just spend whatever's available and hope there's something left. There never is, because spending expands to fill whatever space you give it. The only way to build wealth is to decide what you want first, allocate money toward that, and then live on the rest. Not the other way around. Let's address the discomfort. Breaking this habit is uncomfortable. It means saying no to things you want. It means not fitting in. It means living differently than the people around you. It means feeling the emotions you've been using spending to avoid. It means confronting the fact that you've been sabotaging yourself for years. That's hard, but the alternative is harder. The alternative is working your entire life and having nothing to show for it. The alternative is constant financial stress, limited options, and zero security. The alternative is staying trapped in a pattern that doesn't serve you because changing feels too difficult. And that's not a life. That's survival. And you deserve better. Here's the truth about habits. They're powerful because they're automatic. But that means they can work for you or against you. Right now, you're invisible. Financial habits are working against you. They're draining your resources, limiting your options, and preventing you from building the life you want. But you can change that. You can build new habits. Habits of awareness, intention, and discipline. Habits that serve your goals instead of undermining them. It won't happen overnight. It won't be easy, but it's possible. And it starts with seeing the pattern, with naming the habit, with deciding you're done letting unconscious behavior control your financial life. One more thing. This isn't about perfection. You're not going to eliminate all unconscious spending. You're not going to make perfect financial decisions every time. That's not the goal. The goal is progress. The goal is awareness. The goal is making more conscious choices than unconscious ones. The goal is catching yourself before the habit executes and choosing differently. And every time you do that, you're rewiring your brain. You're weakening the old pattern and strengthening a new one. And over time, the new pattern becomes the default. The conscious choice becomes the habit. And that's when everything changes. So here's the question. What invisible habit is running your financial life? What automatic behavior is draining your resources without you even realizing it? What pattern have you been repeating for years that's keeping you stuck? Because until you identify it, you can't change it. And until you change it, you'll keep getting the same results. But once you see it, once you understand how it works, once you commit to breaking it, you take back control. You stop being a victim of your habits and start being the architect of your financial life. And that's when the future you've been hoping for becomes possible. The invisible habit that's destroying your financial life isn't some mysterious force. It's a pattern of unconscious decisions that you've been making for so long they feel like just who you are. But they're not. They're learned behaviors. And what's been learned can be unlearned. What's been programmed can be reprogrammed. What's been automatic can become intentional. It just requires awareness, commitment, and consistent effort. And if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to see the habit and break it, there's no limit to what you can build. Are you ready to stop sabotaging yourself?